Welcome to Issues and Answers with Diane Kinderwater. Issues and Answers is presented as a public service to inform, educate, and better the lives of New Mexicans. And now, Issues and Answers with your host, Diane Kinderwater.
Welcome to the program. I'm Diane Kinderwater, and we thank KCHF TV and Issues and Answers for bringing you the candidates for mayor. Yes, we have an election November 4th, Tuesday in November. It's not for president, it's not for governor, but it is for the mayor of Albuquerque, and a number of city council seats are up, as well as school board members. And of course, throughout the state of New Mexico, many municipal elections are held, and they are very important. It's just not the president and the governor, because this is close to us. Your mayor's race has direct, significant impact to your life and to my life. So let's get it right. New Mexico, Albuquerque. We all have elections, and of course, it's our duty to vote. And we congratulate and thank those who toss their hats into the ring, as my candidate today is doing, Mayling Armijo. She is running her first time for an elective office as a public servant, and she's running for mayor. So after this break, we're going to introduce you to Mayling Armijo. Stay with us. We'll be back. Again, here it's election time, and Issues and Answers has invited the candidates, all the candidates for mayor, and those who have accepted are being introduced to you, as I'm introducing you today to Mayling Armijo. Thank you for running for mayor.
Thank you for having me.
Why are you running for mayor? Let's start with the easy question. We have all easy questions, kind of, except the solutions are tough, but the questions are easy.
Sure. I'm running because I'm tired. I'm tired of feeling unsafe in our city. I'm tired of worrying about my family and my nieces and my nephews. I'm just tired. And so decided to throw my hat in, and because I know I can make a change.
You are a lieutenant commander in the U.S. Navy Reserve.
Yes, ma'am.
You're the executive director of Elevate Lending Certified Development Company, which is a small business lending organization. You've served as director of economic development for Bernalillo County, and you served as deputy county manager for Sandoval County, managing complex operations and balancing budgets. So background in economic development, we understand, but businesses won't come and grow here.
Right.
If
we don't decrease crime. It really comes down to quality of life and the cost of doing business, and crime costs money. Indirectly or directly, businesses are paying out of their nose to exist in the city of Albuquerque. Insurance rates are going up, cost of goods are going up, everything's going up, and crime makes it worse. It amplifies it. So if we don't bring down crime, businesses will continue to close, and businesses will not come to New Mexico or Albuquerque specifically.
you would just shut her up all over the city. I looked online, of course. We can find out more about Mayling Armijo on your webpage, which is Armijo4mayor.com. Armijo for the number 4 mayor.com. Of course, you just put her name. I did stick her name in. Mayling is quite unusual, and it pops up. But crime is a priority: housing, homelessness, substance abuse, job growth, and term limits. You say that in your background, in your family, as in all of our families, you've had challenges.
Yes. As far as just
substance abuse, and
substance
people
abuse,
going to prison,
crime,
jail. I mean,
right? Yeah, I mean,
your family was not immune to that.
Yeah, no, we weren't immune to that. I mean, we had our challenges as well. But I think for us, crime and addiction was the challenges that my family faced in crime, or just addiction, primarily addiction. You know, a lot of that was head-on kind of when I talked to a family member about addiction, and they said, what made you not be an addict anymore? It was always prison.
Oh, that woke them up.
That woke them up. It was always like,
it was a lifestyle. I mean, I've heard of families in New Mexico. It's a lifestyle, generational lifestyle. The drug abuse is what they learn from their parents, and they learn from their grandparents. So they're not woken up. It's kind of a norm.
Well, I don't know that it's a norm for generations. I think a generation, I do think that you can choose. Everybody has a choice. And so if you wake up and you make a choice to be an addict, then you're making a choice. But I also think that addiction can be addressed through the courts, but also with wraparound services. But I think when I talk to addicts, there has to be accountability and consequences. And if there aren't those things, then we're never going to see a decrease in the addiction challenges that the city faces.
Because you've talked to them and they've told you prison, jail woke them up.
Well, consequences, yeah. And in a lot of cases, the consequences was a judge saying either you go to rehab or you go to jail.
Okay. You're running.
Yes.
Race is on. At least seven, we'll see what the number is, maybe 7 candidates. An existing mayor who's been in for 2 terms is running for a 3rd term. That's unprecedented. But you want to see change, you want to see accountability. What do you want to see, Mayling, and what can you bring to the office of mayor?
So what I bring is, in any organization I've led, in anything that I've taken over, I've always set goals. But with those goals, you have measured outcomes so that the people can see results. And that's what I bring to the table, is that when we take on crime or homelessness or addiction, job growth, whatever we're trying to accomplish, that's going to be the goal. But there are also going to be some measured outcomes, because at the end of the day, you're a taxpayer. You want to know where your money's going and what we're doing from day to day and what you're getting out of your city government. And we need to see an improvement in quality of life. And those are things that you can measure. And you can see a decrease in crime. You can see a decrease in homeless. Just drive down Central. You know, you won't drive down Central, will you? No,
I have. It's shocking. I was shocked to see Central and Louisiana, it used to be a state government building. I used to go there for, I can't recall, whatever permits and things I needed, licenses I needed. It's abandoned. It's just 2 huge buildings, Louisiana and Central.
Yeah.
And they're going to turn them into
I have no idea.
Homeless center or something.
I don't know what's been determined there.
But what are you telling the people in the street about you running for mayor?
Well, that I'm going to bring that change that we need. And I'm going to bring accountability to the office and transparency. And we're going to work. We're going to work until we see that change.
What are you going to work on?
So first, we're going to work on crime. We're going to change the leadership at APD. We're going to change the culture. We're going to change how we do business. But at the same time, we're going to expect professionalism and people's rights being observed. But I think we have to change the leadership at the top so that people are accountable and transparent. I think that APD is a little too top-heavy. We need more officers on the streets than we do in offices. We need to start arresting for misdemeanors and vandalism and crime that they're not arresting for right now.
Do we see them on the streets? I don't see many police officers on the streets. Yes, you're gonna harass like.
Right. Well, and that's the concern. Like we have the least number of police officers. I think, you know, I know it's recently gone up, but the least number of police officers, we used to be at like 1,800. Now we're at 800. You know, so we don't even have that. And then what I was told is that there's at any time maybe 250 police officers on the street in this whole city for a city of 400,000, or, you know, in regionally populated at 600,000. I mean, that's just not enough. So we need to recruit. That's also part of the solution. Is we need to recruit more cops, and we have to let the cops be cops and arrest for crime.
Right, but we were under the federal, what was it called? The
DOJ.
Department of Justice mandates. We're getting out from under that. So that gives us a little more freedom to what?
Well, we are out from it.
Have police officers.
Yeah, I mean, that's already, the decree's already been lifted. But that hasn't changed anything. It's been a few months since the decree's been lifted. But I still don't, do you still see officers? Have you seen officers arrest for anything? That the culture's still the same. Nothing's changed.
What about the businesses who have to hire their own security?
Oh, God, I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk about small businesses. Not only do they have to hire their own security, so you've added that expense. Just recently, I had a small business I was working with that their insurance, if you're on the Central Corridor, 10 years ago, their insurance was maybe $2,500 a month. Now it's $30,000 a month. So I'm getting phone calls from clients who are saying, hey, can I not make my loan payment this month, but because I need to make my insurance payment instead. So now their cost of doing business just in that line item has gone up tenfold. And so there's that. That's just the insurance. And then their deductible has gone up from $2,400 per incident to $10,000 per incident, because it's not when something happens, it's not if something happens, it's when something happens. And that's a concern. And then, so now that's why you're seeing these businesses shut down. The other thing too is not only are they paying for security, they have to build fences. Fences and expensive fences, strong fences. And to keep the vandals out and homeless, because they in the winter they get cold, so they tend to start a fire. And so
I spoke about my good friend who has a business, a medical practice on Coors and basically I-40, and people set fire to her business and put the business out, put the patients out, and the number of doctors aren't earning an income. The patients aren't getting the care they need because the building has been partially destroyed from people setting a fire.
Yeah.
And again, poor thing, her insurance probably will be going up. And again, they have to repair the building and finding people to do it. And I know people who replace glass, trying to get glass replaced in the city is difficult because they're so busy replacing broken glass. Anyways, we can go on, and we've been going on and on. Mayling for years. I know.
And why isn't current leadership talking about that? Why isn't that a concern? These are the type of changes I'm talking about. And if we're still talking about this when I'm mayor in 4 years, you and I, if we're talking about this, and there's something else, you and I need to be talking. But this is not okay. We don't have to live this way. We don't have to accept this as the status quo.
It seems like we have been. But we have been accepting it, and
we don't have
voters go time after time voting for the same thing and getting the same results.
I'm hoping that voters realize that we can have real change.
Seems like a bit of hopelessness, though, out there.
Why do you say that? Why do you feel that way? Because I'm hopeful, and people I talk to, they want change.
But hopeful, they're hopeful.
Yes.
But are they hopeful?
Yes, I feel like they are.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, it's just that we've been seeing this for so long, and it's
I know.
growing, and it's getting worse.
Well, that's why I'm here. I'm tired. Why isn't it changed? Let's change it. We can do it.
Tell them out there.
We're going to do this.
Regarding housing, that's a priority. What do you mean by housing? Housing not just for the homeless street people, but housing for young families who want to buy a home. What do you say housing? What are you talking about?
So I'm talking teachers that are, college graduates, just got out of college, starting their first job, not making a ton of money, want to live out on their own, but also make it affordable so that they can build wealth to eventually purchase their own home. And this is an important thing that we need to understand that we don't talk about with young people. Like, you have to be able to afford to live. But also build wealth so that you can save money at the end of the month to buy a new home. And so, my thing is building more affordable housing. People always mix it with low income. I'm not saying low income, I'm saying affordable. Affordable for teachers, new police officers, people who are just getting into the job market.
What responsibility do we have as taxpayers, though, to support that?
You don't have any responsibility. We can do it. We can put up affordable housing through public-private partnerships without putting it on the back of taxpayers.
That's possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's a priority because what have you heard?
There's not enough affordable housing.
Of course,
there's not enough. There's not enough. So what's happening is because we don't have a lot of rental properties, is what I'm being told. Or is that they don't have, the cost of rentals have gone up exponentially since COVID. So what somebody used to pay $300 a month was now paying $600. And then in some cases they were
But I'll say, what planet are you living on?
I know, 300 a little low. But so went from like 800 to 1500 is probably more reasonable, right? And so it's interesting, and and landlords are able to charge it, and okay, that's fine. That means that supply is low. It's the basic economics. So let's increase the supply and make the prices go down a little bit.
What do you feel about rent control or rent freezes?
I'm not in the business of telling businesses what to do.
Thank you. Homelessness? That's one of your priorities.
Yes. So I think we need to categorize homeless in a way of there's veterans homeless, there's people who are homeless because they don't want to be homeless. Those are the ones we need to focus on. But then there's also people who want to be homeless.
The street people.
There's street folks,
Yeah.
and there's the addiction. And those are the ones that are causing a lot of the issues and a lot of the problems, and we need to address those more aggressively.
But categorizing them, that's the first I've heard of that.
Yeah.
What would that help?
Because it's a multifaceted problem. So if you try to do one thing to try to fix homeless, i.e. the Gateway Center, then you're not going to address the problem in the manner in which it needs to be addressed.
What do you think could be done? In addition to categorizing,
I think if you're looking at homeless because you're an addict, then we need to be more aggressive as far as, hey, are you getting the help, or do you need the help, or you can't be homeless and on the street committing crimes. So this is where I was saying, hey, we need to be a little bit more aggressive as far as go to rehab or go to jail. Like these are kind of the things.
Okay, good choice. Substance abuse was another item that you listed on your website.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's a big issue for a lot of, especially fentanyl. And the scary part about fentanyl is there are no long-term users of fentanyl. Because
they die.
Exactly. You get one wrong pill and you're done. That's scary, right? And that's what worries me, is like if we don't address it,
we're losing our population.
Yeah.
Term limits.
Yes. Why is he running for a third term? I don't get it. We need change. We don't need hopelessness. We need hope. So I think with term limits, you've done, I think 8 years is enough. If you can't do it in 8 years, you should probably check another career.
Job growth.
Yes. Definitely economic development. I mean, we haven't had a major economic development project in this city in 6 years. And the last time we did, I was at the county as your director of economic development. And so there are so many challenges in doing business with the city and job growth. We have to change that. We have to become a business-friendly city.
Now, you were, though, the director of economic development for Bernalillo County and the deputy for Sandoval.
Yes.
How were things back then when you were in those departments?
Well, when I worked for Bernalillo County as the director of economic development, under my tenure, we did $1.4 billion in private investment, and we helped create over 5,000 jobs. They haven't been able to do that type of private investment, public-private partnerships since I've left the county. Now, they've done work, and they've done work at the city, but you haven't seen that type of growth in the last 6 years at all.
And why is that? I mean, the economy across the country is bad, or what?
If we're not business-friendly, businesses are going to go somewhere else.
But was it business-friendly when you were there, and then it changed?
I felt like it has changed in the last 6 years. I feel like the city has become less business-friendly. They put more restrictions on businesses. I feel the county has done that too. The politics of the county has changed in the last 6 years as well too, and I think it has turned businesses away, yes.
I know, just as I need to get a permit from the city for something, and it's
luck.
very much not customer-friendly because they say you have to sit there from 7 in the morning till 4:30. Well, and we won't even tell you when we're coming. That doesn't sound like good customer service regarding just a simple permit. But that means my opportunity to produce somewhere else is gone because I have to sit and wait for them.
Yeah.
I don't understand why that is.
I don't either. And it seems like it's gotten worse because prior to Keller, when my family's in construction and HVAC, when they needed a permit, it didn't take that long to get a permit. And now you're right, it takes all day. And then once you get it permitted and you get the work done, how long does it take for the inspection? When does your inspection?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the inspection I have to wait on for hours without telling me the time. That's the customer service part.
Right, exactly.
And actually it's HVAC. It's HVAC. So you know firsthand, I'm just saying as a resident here, it doesn't make sense why I need to sit around all day waiting. They can't give me an appointment. Do you know why? You've had that experience?
I have no idea. I've asked the same question. I have not gotten an answer.
Could you change that?
Yes, for you I will.
No, not for me, but for everybody. It's
for everybody.
It's not business
But
sense.
that's
And that's just
right.
a minor point compared to what these big construction companies need to do.
So that's the thing. Like you have an inspector who says he's going to take all day to get there. So not only are you at home waiting for the inspector,
And losing production.
right? The guy that installed the job that wants to be there when the inspector's there is potentially not doing anything either.
Correct. Regarding the position on the sanctuary city status, are we a sanctuary city? I think we're called a friendly,
Immigrant friendly.
immigrant friendly city.
Yeah.
What's the difference and what is your position?
I don't know that there is a. I think they're used interchangeably.
okay.
I'm fine with Albuquerque being an immigrant friendly city. You know, immigrants are part of the economy. Let's not deny that. Let's not deny their contributions. So I'm not sure what your question is, though.
Well, regarding the fact that if we have this designation, sanctuary city or immigrant friendly,
Right.
then regarding crime and criminals who may be folks here, not legally,
Right.
and the city not being able to help the federal government
Well,
with this issue.
if they're criminals, and we know about that, then we need to turn them over to ICE or Border Patrol or whoever's looking for them.
But I don't think that's being done now.
Well, it will be done when I'm there. But if they're illegal and they're criminals, we need to be turning them over to ICE.
What other points? We have just a few minutes left. Mayling Armijo, who's running for mayor. What parts of town do you live in now?
So I live in Northeast Heights.
Okay.
So, but my parents live in the UNM area, and I have a sister-in-law that lives close to Louisiana and Central, so I'm in that, and nieces and nephews that live in that area, so I'm very familiar with it. But I just want, if I had 2 minutes to end it with, I would say that I'm here not because of me, I'm here because I'm vested. I have 15 nieces and nephews and 5 siblings, 4 of which still live here. So for me, fixing this is personal. It's not just a job. It's something that impacts everything that I love.
It affects all of us.
All
truly.
of us, absolutely.
What about teen crime? I mean, what is going on with that?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
What a
I'm not sure. Again, I think it comes back to consequences and accountability. And right now, we even District Attorney Bregman has said that it's hard for him to hold them accountable because the laws prohibit him from doing certain things. But I think what we need to look at from a mayoral perspective is how we can prevent teen crime. Like, what are we doing to keep our teens busy? You know, and I'm a big believer in idle hands are the devil's best weapon. And so, you know, if we can keep them busy, whether we have whatever teen programs or summer jobs or, you know, whatever we can do to keep them busy, that's what we need to be doing. And we need to invest more in doing that.
What would you like to share with the viewers of something about yourself that they don't know about?
What do they know? I have 2 beautiful dogs. One's an American Bully. It's bigger than you. And her name is Tootsie Roll. The other one is a one-eyed Corgi mix, and his name's Sherman. He's a good dog. So most people don't know I own dogs. So.
Good to know. What about the size of city government? It's grown exponentially over the past several years.
Yes.
I mean, and it doesn't seem like crime is improving, or
right.
Our roads aren't getting any much better.
Yep.
I see some construction though. I'm not sure if those are state roads though.
Yeah.
But what about the size of government?
I think this, you know, for me, it's always been, I've always been an efficient executive. So if we are not getting an ROI on a job or a program, then we need to look at cutting it. We need to look at downsizing it. Because again, it comes back to accountability and measured outcomes. We have to have those things put in place so that you as the taxpayer know that you're getting your ROI, you're getting a return on your investment.
What do you think of the size of the Tingley Coliseum? It's on the state, but it's on city property at the state fair.
The state fairgrounds, yeah.
State fairgrounds.
What about it?
Tingley. Well, we need, they say, a bigger venue, and of course we're looking at the soccer stadium at the Balloon Fiesta Park. Different infrastructure things.
Yeah,
any concerns?
I don't, as far as like moving state fair
or getting a better facility there. It's right in the heart of our city.
Yeah.
It's a state facility, but the mayor of Albuquerque would have some input on this.
Yeah. I mean, I think we should do something downtown. If I was going to build, if we had all the money in the world and I just came for a day, I would love to see it downtown. Not a balloon fiesta park. I would love to see it downtown.
Because?
I think it would be key to revitalizing downtown and bringing people downtown. But we can't do any of that until we bring crime down and we make it safe. That would be that's where I would put it.
What are people on the street telling you?
I think most people have told me that crime is the biggest issue. They don't feel safe. I had one guy when we were doing the petition. He's like, when my daughters go get gas, they have to look to. I need to know where they go get gas. I tell them where to get gas because they're afraid. They're afraid of being accosted or approached or just, you know.
Well, that's gas. How about getting groceries at the grocery store? You hear Smith's.
I know, they're shootings at Smith's.
Walmart.
Yeah.
I mean,
Walgreens, all the things. And so safety is a big thing.
Big issue.
And a lot of people don't go out after dark. And it's almost third world in a way because I'm like, why are you feeling unsafe in your own city?
In America.
Yes. And then they're like, well, and they can't call the police because unless you're in imminent danger, they're not going to come. So crime and safety are the biggest things that I'm hearing. And the homelessness is a concern because people do see it. Like when you drive down there, people do see it. It's a concern, yeah.
Thank you again for running
you.
first time Mayling Armijo, who's running for mayor of Albuquerque and taking her time and energy to help improve things in our city. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And again, you're shaking things up too. Thanks for watching the show. I'm Diane Kinderwater. Make it a great week with your family. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Issues and Answers with your host Diane Kinderwater is presented as a public service to inform, educate, and better the lives of New Mexicans. To comment on today's program, email us at info@kchftv.org or call us at 505-345-1991. Join us again for Issues and Answers with Diane Kinderwater.